Hello, podcast listeners. Thank you for tuning into Growcast today. Jordan River here. I have a wonderful episode today. We have Dominic Paolucci from Greencraft Distribution on the line, and he's got a lot to talk about. He's got a lot to say about growing in the cannabis industry and how he built his companies and their hiring and all this fun stuff. So I know you're going to love today's episode. Before we get started, though, let's give a little love to today's sponsor, everybody, Newt Tools. That's right, Newt Tools. Just go to newttools.com, Nutools. Promo code GROWCAST gets you 10% off your Newt Tools, and members get 25% off all their Newt Tools. That's right, everybody. Newt Tools created the Newt Needle, which is an amazingly simple device. If you use liquid nutrients, you got to get one of these. It is a 100 milliliter syringe and 14-inch stainless steel needle, and it's a perfect fit into any bottle of nutrient on the market. So you can extract exactly what you need, apply it to your reservoir easily, mix it in with the Newt tool, no spilling, no sloshing, no staining your clothes. This is what's up, guys. If you got the synthetic nutrients, you need a Newt tool. Newttools.com, promo code GROWCAST for 10% off. And mygrowpass.com members get 25% off. Go get it, everybody. The Newt Needle by Newt Tools. It's thick, durable, it's easily detachable and cleanable. It's a stirring rod. You got to check it out. newttools.com. All right, everyone. No housekeeping. Yeah, no housekeeping. We'll just jump into the episode. Thank you all so much for listening. Let's get started with Dominic Paolucci. Enjoy the show. All right, here we go. Hello, podcast listeners. You are now listening to Growcast. I'm your host, Jordan River, and I want to thank you for tuning in today. Before we get started, please share this show with a friend. Make sure you're subscribed. Give us a good rating and review. We always appreciate that. Check out our other shows, The Homegrown Helpers. Yeah, got to get that grow content in. And my new show, the Coffee, Health, and Science Podcast. I see you guys migrating over to that show. It's very fun. I appreciate you guys doing that. Let's see. Today we have an awesome guest on the line. Dominic from Greencraft Distribution is on the line to talk to us about how he built his business, what is going on the East Coast, and so much more. How you doing today, Dom?
Doing well, Jordan. How are you?
I'm doing excellent, man. Everyone's loving Greencraft Distribution, all the awesome partnerships we got going. Greencraftdistribution.com, the online hydro superstore, and find them on Instagram at GreencraftDist. Dominic, what's going on, man? How's life? How is Greencraft doing?
Oh, everything is great. Life is good. We are, actively harvesting out here on the East Coast right now, so things are extra chaotic and extra, bountiful. It seems like we're coming off a pretty good grow season from all aspects of farming, so that's always exciting.
Nice. Absolutely. Why don't we talk about how you got started with Greencraft Distribution, what prompted you to create this company, and now what your mission statement is?
Yeah, great. Well, essentially, I got into this side of the legal cannabis industry, so to speak, and that's kind of overused now. But ultimately, I got into this with a product called Cannatai. Cannatai was a vision I had while I was working for a wire manufacturer. In New England, we've got actually the highest concentration of wire manufacturers in the country. So
really?
I worked for one. Yeah, it's interesting. All of our old mills, that's what we do now. So I worked for a company that made military and medical wire. And I've been growing cannabis since I was about 17. So I said, I'm going to grow and I'm going to make a soft tie that I can make here at work, and I'm going to use it for my plants. And then I morphed that into Cannatai.
Nice.
And added some features to it that were a little bit unique. And then basically I had a distribution deal with a said company that was going to take Cannatai on, and the deal ultimately disintegrated from other internal issues that company had. So then I basically said, all right, well, then I'm going to start my own distribution company. I'm going to bring Cannatai for the ride, and I'm going to pick up a bunch of amazing products that help people grow hemp and cannabis.
Nice.
And we're going to educate people and provide these products to people, and we're going to go for it. So that was several years ago with Cannatai started several years ago, and now Greencraft's working on its second year now.
That's so cool.
Yep.
That's really cool, man. What are you trying to provide? What's your mission with Greencraft Distribution? I love this idea that before, when we were so restricted with our options of hydro stores, finally it's become acceptable to order these types of products online.
Yeah, absolutely. Our mission mostly is just to provide the products for anybody's craft that they want to provide.
Mm.
At Greencraft, we really don't see the federal government's vision of if it's 0.3% or under, it's hemp. If it's 0.3% over, it's cannabis. I mean, it's pretty much the same plant. Yes, each cultivar is going to take nutrients up differently, but we find it, we just want to provide a product to help anybody's craft to create the best product that they can. So that really is our mission statement. So through our nutrients or soil lines, and then as well as our finished products, our finished CBD partners that we have, we've kind of made this culmination type of company right now that can encompass both the cultivation side plus the personal use side of things.
Nice.
So, it's been really good. Really good.
Before we dive in deeper, I want to ask you, what are some of the products that you're carrying right now at Greencraft Distribution? Maybe some of the partners that you're most proud of or that you think that my grower listeners would be most interested in.
Yeah, so, as far as cultivation of cannabis goes right now, I think one of our best nutrient lines that we have is Buddhist Tree. Buddhist Tree is made out from a couple of brilliant people out in the UK. They have been doing significant studies, and the way that their nutrient line works creates a synergy, and it really speaks to the way that the cannabis plant specifically grows in different stages. So it's providing vital nutrients at really integral stages that we don't see other nutrient companies really addressing. So I really, really suggest anybody to look into the Buddhist line. And then also we have Herb Naturals.
Oh, sure.
URB. So now URB is 5 strains of Bacillus and 1 strain of Trichoderma, and that's suspended in a high-quality humic solution. And that is also one of those things that just people are like, you put a little herb in your mix once a week, and whatever it is, they just respond extremely well. So there's a lot of synergies in that root zone that are helping nutrient uptake, nutrient cycling, disease resistance, increase in all of that stuff. So we really recommend herb as well.
Nice.
And then on the, for our CBD consumer side, we're really proud of our Original Hemp line right now that we're representing. Original Hemp has really been on the forefront of creating these products that have ancillary type of ingredients in there that would really enhance the work of the CBD.
Oh, interesting. So are these like tinctures and stuff? What are they?
So we have tinctures, they have capsules, and the capsules are actually really gaining a lot of popularity because they're dosed nicely. And
nice.
Like I said, they're accompanied with other ingredients in there for sleep, for anxiety, relief, and those things are really what we're finding people to be working with. And of course, we're on the forefront of this stuff. I mean, we really don't know, but I believe strongly that CBD is it's that transport for every other thing that we can do, and we're just really scratching the surface of what its capabilities are for us.
I like that, man. I like that a lot. I wanted to ask you, how does it work selecting which vendors and brands to partner with? And maybe you can partner that with some advice for people who run a cannabis business that require this sort of collaboration selection. Let me just set you up by saying I found the cannabis industry to be quite friendly and open and honest. I would say much more so than your average industry. But with any business, you have to be so careful who you choose to partner with. What does that process look like, and do you have any advice?
Sure. That's a good question. I mean, I think for any business, the first vetting process should be, is this going to help my business? I mean, and that's a thing where we have this industry that's very young, and people have great intentions, but are they able to function as a business? Are they going to be in business 3 years from now?
No matter how excited it makes you, or no matter how good of an idea it seems, the first thing you say you should ask is, will this help my business? I like that.
It has to be. Unfortunately, it is. And to go to your point of the community and everything like that, I mean, I was up in Maine for AnyCan, and we were just talking about what kind of industry could you just keep referring people to, continuously, and and just be so supportive and make sure that everybody has the guidance that they need. I mean, it is a wonderful, wonderful community of people, whereas other industries would just cutthroat you or really not provide with that information because they would be fearful of it interfering with their own business. There's really none of that. So, and that is great. To vet the companies themselves is ultimately, as a distributor, we need to make sure that, we can provide the pricing that makes sense for our consumers, and that there's not, any undercutting going on. There's so many channels to sell products now. So from the business standpoint, we really need to vet and make sure that we have a sound pricing structure, so that way everybody's getting the same pricing. Nobody can, have any qualms about getting it cheaper or less there. But that's aside. That's basically the business. I mean, that's first and foremost, essentially, but really the product itself and what kind of quality goes into that. What's the philosophy of that business? Where are the other sources of their products coming from?
Right.
So those are obviously extremely important, and what kind of core value do they have? So, we're always looking for innovation too.
Yeah, no, you nailed it on the head there. And I think that not everyone does their due diligence, right? Whether it's optimistic thinking or just laziness, like digging into sourcing and production practices. Holy crap, I've been working with, everyone knows I've been working on these coffee podcasts and working with different coffee companies. My God, there is a wild, drastic difference between how deep people dig into their production practices. And like you said a phrase that rung out to me, which is core values. I mean, that's the most important thing. If your values and principles don't line up, then there's going to be trouble down the road no matter what.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great advice.
Force that relationship. And we want to look for these companies that, okay, well, this is the great thing now, but what are you guys doing to look forward? And should we be on that wagon as you guys move it forward? And that's what we really, really pride ourselves on, is companies that are just striving to make the best and the next best, way to do it. I mean, everybody, we all like to hammer out on two cannabinoids, THC and CBD.
Right.
But as we progress here, there's going to be a lot more conversation about the ancillary cannabinoids. So who's doing that research and what companies are on the forefront of understanding how we can unlock our endocannabinoid system and what kind of transport molecule we can get into our systems to stay healthier, to combat the society we live in that is trying to keep us sick and it doesn't care about our health. What is the next?
Certainly seems that way, man. All we do is talk about the next medicine or the next low-fat food, but we're all more obese than ever since we started introducing these low-fat foods in the 90s and early 2000s. Literally, that's what it seems like. So you're right. We need to take this into our own hands. And, I'm fascinated by what you said about the ancillary cannabinoids because, again, working with these coffee companies, organic coffee has an incredible anti-cancer preventative property. I mean, across the board, a dozen different types of cancers. It prevents significantly if you drink enough healthy coffee. So I'm wondering what this big intersection is going to be. I find coffee and cannabis to be the two most widely applicable medical substances on the planet when it comes to their wide range of health effects. So I'm excited to see like some CBG coffee or like I know THCV was, if I remember correctly, was proposed to have some anti-cancer properties. And this is all way down the road. Like no one would ever stand behind this right now because of the liabilities and everything. But I believe in 10 years there's going to be an anti-cancer coffee roast that includes some of these compounds.
Yeah, I really like that a lot. I mean, there's a lot to be said with caffeine and CBD in general right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not really, again, at the forefront of it, but for some reason, there's just a synergy there that enhances each other's abilities.
That's so fascinating to me.
Yeah, I found that fascinating too, and it was an article I was reading. So when you say that's the thing to explore. I mean, these cannabinoids are really kind of, I see them all as keys to unlock different potentials.
Oh man, that's exciting.
It is. It's extremely exciting for us, and we know what our products have done for our current customer base. One of our best products is a roll-on application. So we have a roll-on that's accompanied with a bunch of essential oils, about 20-something essential oils into them, and really, people that just have no reason that just aren't even into cannabis or hemp or anything, but just need relief from knee pain or
Totally.
neck pain, or and have no clue exactly what it is. They just trust us to say, try this, and
it's gonna make you feel better.
And
you don't have to smoke. You don't have to pack a bowl and light up and rip a bong like a CBD flower would.
No, I mean, in fact, we're working on a full spectrum roll on right now, but our current roll on is just an isolate, anyways. I mean, it's literally CBD and 25 essential oils, and it's suspended in a nice. Yeah, it's but those are the things that just keep us going, because we have people that tell us it changes their lives. It helps them get up. It helps them take care of their kids. It helps them literally function day to day that they didn't have. And it's actually, from every standpoint, it increases your circulation. It decreases the amount of pain. Wow. And it's basically doing all these things at once. And then over time, with continuous usage, it can actually really, really help the healing process.
100%.
Your body in actually healing.
The anti-inflammatory properties absolutely have an effect on healing. And that's the big problem with the getting on the medical treadmill, right? People who end up taking aspirin every day, that's really actually quite damaging for athletes, because they never really get the natural anti-inflammatory process. So yeah, that's fascinating, man. I feel like we could talk for a long time there. Maybe I'll get you on the coffee podcast or something. We'll talk in the future. But I wanted to ask you this generalized question, because it comes up all the time. One of the things that surprised me about GrowCast in the past year or two is how many people are inquiring about, how do I get into the cannabis space? I want to start a company. I have a product idea. I have a brand idea. I want to work for somebody. So I want to touch on this a little bit. First of all, what do you find were some of the biggest challenges when you're entering the cannabis space, and what advice would you have for someone who's thinking about starting a cannabis business, no matter what it is?
So
it's a two-parter. Sorry. Welcome to GrowCast.
Yeah. So no, that's a great question. I mean, the biggest challenge would probably be changing what you're currently doing to get into it. So for me personally, it was the fear of losing, just quitting my job.
Exiting.
I was in a union.
Oh, you're absolutely right, man. Yeah, exiting is okay. I love it. Speak on that for a little bit.
So I was in a union. I had a well-paying job, I would say, but ultimately it wasn't driving my heart and soul into what I was doing. So I think that for anybody, just take the fear away, and if what you're doing right now isn't what you ultimately want to do, then you got to change it no matter what, or you're not going to find that happiness you need. So I think step number one is, so maybe you don't know what's going to happen. Maybe you don't know if you're going to get paid. And I have, I've gone without a paycheck for years, and I still don't know how it happened, how to even do it. But you find a way, and when you follow your passion, your path will unfold.
I love that.
So really, I just say, if it's something that your heart and yourself is really telling you to pursue, to just stop. Don't overthink the details in your mind. And I mean, certainly sound planning is key to execution,
sure.
But just in that first step one, what's your mind unlock and how are you going to do this? So I realized that, I mean, I still was spooling wire at times when thinking about it, but ultimately my exit strategy was to just let go of the fear and go into it. And now Cannatai has led me right into Greencraft distribution. That now Greencraft is finally establishing itself. So if it's don't be silly and jump ship quick or anything like that, but yeah, talk to people, get to the trade shows, get into send an Instagram message, see who will talk to you, see who anybody that's got similar interest. If you've got a product idea, find out similar products. If you've got a business idea, find out who's in the similar business. See if you can get somebody's ear. Most of these people, to touch on our last point, are willing to talk to you, are very open to helping you. And that's, gain the help, anything you can do, but to just gain the knowledge and make a sound plan. Your partners in growing your business are going to be essential.
Absolutely.
Whether it's a manufacturing partner or a board member or just a community member, get involved. And it can't be stressed enough to just reach out to people and ask questions, because people are always humbled by it.
100%.
you know. So.
I definitely agree with that. And let me touch on something you said about the exit, which is I don't think that, okay, so first of all, it's a balance between what you said, getting out and getting into something that you want to do and your passion, because you have that opportunity in modern society. If you're in that position, you'd be a fool not to take it. But like you said, it's a balance between objectiveness, like proper planning, make sure you don't wind up on the street, that sort of thing.
Sure.
Would you say that transition period is often very important to realize and commit to working nights and weekends? I find that transition period when you're still working a day job but trying to build your own thing is really tough, because you are working nights and weekends, but that's what it takes to eventually be able to take that transition to where you're working your new job and you feel like you never work a day in your life. You know what I mean? Did you have to work that double overtime for a while, like fucking spooling barbed wire and then coming home and writing those Instagram messages and shit? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't know anybody who's super successful who doesn't work nights and weekends. That's what I asked. I was doing the Lifebook podcast and I said, do you know anyone who's super successful and doesn't work nights and or weekends? And he's thought for a second and he said no.
There's no way. There is no way. So, and like I said, it's not gonna feel like work, but I almost really don't sleep. I mean, and I haven't slept. It's the truth.
Me too, man.
Because I have had to keep things afloat. I mean, I have a family, I have other businesses, and where I was fortunate to have other things that I started at a younger age was a property maintenance company where I did a lot of landscaping. And
oh, damn, nice.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
That was really what helped me a little bit, and got me growing cannabis ultimately too, and doing that as a passion. But yeah, you have to put the work in, you have to put the time in, and just put yourself out there, you know. And that's really the ingredients for the formula of success.
Totally. And I think that transition period is hardest. I think you got to realize it's not going to be like this forever. I'm going to work my fucking ass off, and that's why you're going to get the rewards that you want to get, because other people aren't willing to do that. Bottom line, you do the things that people aren't willing to do, and you get the rewards they'll never get. Yeah. I mean, that transition period is one of you're going to learn your hardest lessons. You're going to learn a shit ton in general, and for me, it was like, wow, I can actually live with very little money because I haven't had shit for so long. So that's so cool, man.
And then
some personal growth there too.
And then you start making a little bit of money, and you appreciate everything more, and
yes,
where your journey's taking you. You know, I don't ever want to advise anybody to do anything without any thought, but I just want to make sure that people know that they just got to let go of the fear of it, and then a little bit of planning and a little bit of it can really propel you.
100%, and that's exactly right. Everyone's situation is different, and you definitely want to weigh it according to your life and your values. But what you can't do is let the fear paralyze you, and then miss out on something that could be your life calling.
Sure, you never change anything. You just kind of spin your wheels. You don't move anywhere, and then you're at the same job.
Totally.
You're in the same position, nothing's changed, and you still have the same fears in your brain. Very, very easy for your brain to become this pattern of fear that you have. And then before you know it, years go by. So, you got to change your thought process and just jump in some aspects.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's very important.
Okay, before we jump back in with Dominic, let's give a little love to Atlas Plant Trainer, everybody. One of our best sponsors. Just go to atlasplanttrainer.com. Promo code GROWCAST gets you 10% off your plant trainers. And members of mygrowpass.com, our membership program, get 25% off Atlas Plant Trainer. Come on, guys. Atlas Plant Trainer, you've seen this. This is the erector set for your cannabis plant. This is the best way to support your cannabis plant. All right? You got the stakes, you got the trellises, and then you got the best, which is Atlas Plant Trainer. You build it up around your plant so it perfectly supports your plant no matter what the shape and size, allowing you to create the perfect canopy. If you've ever found yourself a few weeks away from your next harvest, running low on bud, and wondering how you can get more out of your plants without replacing nutrients or lights, well then Atlas Plant Trainer is the answer for you. Connect, click, bend, and clip. 4 easy steps to growing the plants of your dreams and never running out of cannabis. And you don't got to get poked with those bamboo stakes. They get all dirty and moldy and nasty. You don't want that, guys. AtlasPlantTrainer.com. It's the best way to support your plants. GrowCast is the promo code for 10% off. And when you're ready to save 25%, mygrowpass.com. You get that discount and a bunch of others. So check it out, everybody. AtlasPlantTrainer.com. All right, let's get back to Dominic. You mentioned, though, when you were giving advice, general advice, you said partnerships and choosing the partnerships. When I was doing the Lifebook Millionaire interviews, where we were interviewing different millionaires and seeing what they had in common and stuff, all of the best business moves. What's the best business move you ever made? What's the number one strategy you ever implemented? Every time it was a good partnership. Every single time, good partnership. And almost every single, what was your worst business move, was a bad partnership. It's crazy, man. So I definitely feel you on that, and selecting people, carefully. Do you try to judge their personal character as well as, because it's kind of a balance, right? You're like, what does this person offer? What is their company? How do the companies fit? But then do you also find yourself kind of judging them personally? Does this person seem like the type of person with integrity? That sort of thing?
Of course, absolutely. Just like any other move or business, or if you're going to spend time on the phone, if you're going to be traveling to them, if they're going to be representing your company in some way, shape, or form, or vice versa. I mean, you have to, and you got to throw the hard judgment out there on people. It is what it is. I mean, but that is something that is, even not just partnerships, but also mentors, and that goes back to anybody that wants to jump in. Find a mentor, somebody that knows something about what you want to do, or somebody that's already done it, and you can script off of that. And once you have a script, you can make that script better. I mean, we see that with everything, whether people are making fucking hash or whether they're growing bud. It doesn't matter. You've seen somebody do it. Once you have that script, you can make it better. And then somebody can, and you just create this growingness together, and really. It's
exponential. Yeah.
It's exponential, exactly. So the partnerships, choose them wisely, vet properly, and you'll know it. You feel right. I mean, obviously, when you just get started into things, you take what you can get at some point.
True.
And you do what you can, and then you have to learn those lessons and change what you need to do. And that's all part of growing and part of the process, And I will say this too, I don't want anybody, if you want to get into the cannabis space to get rich, it's not what people think it is. And these are mostly people that are outside of the industry trying to look in.
Yeah, they see like Big Mike in his mansion, and they're like, shit, I wanted that marijuana money. It's like, yeah, that's not how it works, man. There's so many people creating so many products every single day. Every single minute, a new cannabis brand is thought up.
Absolutely. And then add CBD into that mix. It's like, holy shit, there's another, we got another line hit us up, another line hit us up. So if, it's getting drastically competitive, and it's not as much money as you think, or it's just not that quick, easy money. You got to work at it like anything else. There is money in the industry, obviously, but just to have that intention, it's just, I just can't stand that. So that's what I just want to make clear to people. It's not like you just hop in and get rich. You got to work your ass off. You got to be smart and follow your passion, and it will create you success. But
yeah, it's not going to be instant. It's not going to be easy money. It's not going to be instant abundance. And like you said, it's definitely not going to be easy. I had this like kind of feeling that when I was growing cannabis, and I'd talk to people about growing cannabis who didn't grow cannabis, they thought it was easy. And it's like, man, this is not. I mean, it certainly is easy on some levels, but let's just put it this way: it's a lot of work. It's maybe not the hardest work in the world, but it's a lot of work, and it requires some degree of consistency, much like growing a business. So, yeah, definitely a lot of parallels there. I did want to touch on the employee side, though, and I know, well, actually, this is probably perfect to talk to you about, because you said you've run other businesses and stuff, but maybe Green Craft Distribution isn't in the place yet where it's hiring a bunch of employees, but let's pretend you are. Let's pretend Green Craft Distribution is the largest, most powerful online superstore for growers. What would you look for if you are looking for an employee? What do you look for if you're looking for an employee? So many people write us and they say, how do I get in the cannabis industry? And they talk about their love for cannabis. And I'm sure that's nice and everything, but maybe not necessarily your top qualities. What do you think about hiring in the cannabis space?
Yeah, so hiring in the cannabis space, which I will make a public service announcement, we are looking for sales reps right now.
Oh, damn. Just there you go. Green Craft is the real deal, and they're hiring everybody. You just put out, you're going to get a lot of messages, buddy.
So that's good, because I mean, we're based really in New England. We really are looking for more boots on the ground. And then I can tell everybody that, first of all, what I'm always looking for is going to be attitude. So if your attitude is that you should deserve the world, then you just by showing up, you should get paid. We are a big proponent of, quote unquote, keeping what you kill. So if you go, Greencraft is going to provide this blueprint for you, but you need to apply that blueprint. And the more that you can build up that blueprint, the more you get rewarded. So very much like anybody that just wants to work very hard and have a great attitude day in and day out, that's it. We can teach you the rest, but your attitude needs to be right and your work ethic needs to be there.
That's huge. That's everything, man. I think that people just think because they've tried a lot of different strains that they would make a good bud tender, but you'd be stunned how things like basic competence and, let's just say, not an undying enthusiasm, but a somewhat constantly present enthusiasm. I mean, those are the things that people are really looking for, right?
Absolutely. I mean, how do you carry yourself? How do you represent yourself? And how can you tell? You got to be able to, we like people that either can have experience in growing cannabis or are, proponents of CBD or so they can speak to a patient and they can speak with certainty and they can carry themselves to represent Greencraft as a company that really knows what they're doing, and people can look to Greencraft and trust in our products to grow their plants with or take their products and put into their mother's bodies, their children's bodies, all those things because they trust in Greencraft. So that's a huge carryover representation that we need from our employees as well.
Wow. I love that, man. And everyone listening, you heard it. They're looking for a sales rep. Now, can anyone who's listening in the New England area apply, or is it, what's the deal? And how do they get at you?
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess really at this point, you can email, or actually it'd be info@gcdist.com.
Okay.
I mean, you can DM us on your Instagram.
That might be best.
At Greencraft Dist. That might be working.
Yeah, people will get you on Instagram.
It doesn't need to be New England area. Somebody that's tech savvy and capable. Like I said, we have big plans of expansion into states like Oklahoma, Michigan. We have some products that we need to get pretty much everywhere. So we're open to a conversation with anyone that wants an opportunity and is willing to work hard.
Even if they're not in New England, you're open to that.
Exactly.
Love it. Love it,
yep.
Man. Oh, man. Yep. I hope that maybe Growcast has a role in this. Maybe we're some sort of like low-end funnel filler when it comes to employees. I just get it so much. I want to tell these people who write me, and I'm sorry if I haven't been responding to you listeners when you write. I do my best to answer. Rob does his best to answer. We're getting inundated now with how big the show is, but people write in and they're like, man, I'm so excited. I want to get into this industry. And I want to help them. I get excited for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we can always do that same thing too. If you tell us some people, maybe we have another company that we know as well that might be a better fit.
That would be cool. Else. I got to do that more often. I got to see how I can help this field. But anyways, I digress. This was a fantastic interview, man. Let's see. You covered a lot of really great information, very enlightening. Maybe before we sign off, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned since starting Greencraft Distribution or just since entering the cannabis space that you can apply to business or life in general?
I don't know. That might be another conversation. But I mean, look, the biggest lesson is just to follow your core values. And I think that can be applied across all businesses. Mm-hmm. And,
I like that, man.
And there's been some hard lessons learned. I mean, there just really has. It's part of the journey. You just need to always stay humble and make sure that you just can continue on with a smile on your face no matter what shit gets flung at you. You're okay with it. You just keep going with a smile on your face. And no matter how big or small or who knows you or who doesn't know you, you just continue on day to day and grow yourself in doing what you need to do.
I love
based
that,
on
man.
your own beliefs, and I definitely I want to thank all of the members and all the listeners for all the support on our website so far. We really do appreciate that tremendously. So we will continue to keep giving back to the listeners as they continue to support us, which is
hell
great.
Yes, man. We love it. And we love you over at GrowPass, mygrowpass.com, the membership program. why don't we give out the promo code for the listeners? Members of mygrowpass.com actually get 25% off the entire site, if I remember correctly. It's either 20% or 25%. I think it's 25%. So yeah,
25.
Yeah, that's really cool for the members. But even the listeners get 10% off with promo code GROWCAST, I believe, or is it GROWCAST10? Let me check really quick.
Yeah, because I couldn't freaking tell you.
And good thing this isn't live, as this will all be cut out, and I will sound so succinct. Greencraft Distribution, promo code GROWCAST. That's the 10% off just for the listeners. So yeah, you listeners get 10% off just for Dom being a cool guy, partnering with GROWCAST. And when you're ready to save 25% off the whole site and all of our other discounts and all the other wonderful benefits with the podcast and everything, mygrowpass.com. Dom, man, thank you so much. This really was a pleasure. I'm pleasantly surprised by your similar values and your business acumen. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jordan. Really appreciate it. And again, thank you to all the listeners. Really, really, everything the GrowCast has been great. So
love it, man.
Looking forward to more.
Love it. Let us know how we can help you, Dom, and all you listeners. Please follow us at GrowCast on Instagram. Follow me at Jordan River IG. mygrowpass.com. You guys have seen that. growcastpodcast.com. Check out our merch. Bunch of cool stuff going on there. We'll let you go, guys. This is Dom from greencraftdistribution.com and Jordan River signing off, wishing you a wonderful day, saying be safe and grow smarter. All right, everyone, that's today's show. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure to check out our merch at growcastpodcast.com. Click the merch button, get yourself a mug or a shirt. Make sure you subscribe to the Coffee, Health, and Science podcast. We just did an episode on glyphosate that was awesome. Check that out. Shout out to Start2Finish710 on Instagram. Start the number 2 Finish 710 for all your cannabis consultation needs. And shout out to Jay Blanked for doing the ad music. Find him at soundcloud.com/JayBlanked and everywhere else where fine music is downloaded. Jay Blanked on this beat. Okay, everybody. Best of luck in your grows. I love each and every one of you listeners. Happy growing, everyone. Bye-bye now.